Welcome into the Dore Report presented by Alaco Hardwood Flooring. For more info on Alaco Hardwood Flooring, log on to their website. That's alacohardwoodflooring.com, or you can call them at 615-356-0303. That's 615-356-0303. Welcome into another edition of the Dore Report presented by the great folks there at Alaco Hardwood Flooring. And we are now happy to be joined by Bill King. He is obviously well known in the Nashville area. He's the host of the Bill King Show on 560 WNSR in Nashville, Monday through Friday in the morning. So driving around the mornings in Nashville, tune your radio to 560 WNSR for the Bill King Show. Bill, how you doing?
I am well. I appreciate it.
I want to first start with talking about Vanderbilt and Notre Dame. Obviously, they kick off at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time in South Bend this weekend. The Commodores trying to pull off the upset in South Bend. As you look at this matchup, what did you see from Notre Dame's struggles against Ball State last week, and maybe how does that make you feel about Vanderbilt's chances this weekend?
I think you're on to it because I think it's more about what we're getting in Notre Dame this Saturday. Vanderbilt's a pretty good-looking football team. Now, relative to what, we don't really know. They've played two decent teams that are, quote, mid-majors. I know that's a term that's not the most popular, but good for the division that they play in, so to speak, but not representative of your regular schedule, right? So I think Vanderbilt's solid and playing good ball. They've obviously got a fantastic connection with Shermer and Lipscomb. They've got the addition of Keyshawn Vaughn at running back. All good things there, but it's what Notre Dame is bringing. If Notre Dame plays well, Vanderbilt won't win the game. I don't know if it's a rout, but Notre Dame's got better personnel top to bottom. But they didn't play at all well against Ball State. Maybe they overlooked them. I'm sure they didn't have, no offense, I don't think they were looking ahead to Vandy. I don't know what they were looking ahead to. They played terrible in that second game. And so I think this is all about Notre Dame and what their alertness level is.
Well, the last meeting between these two teams was in 1996. These two teams have actually only faced each other twice. I'm interested to know, did you go to either of these two previous matchups, whether it was in South Bend or Nashville?
The one here in town, a car dealership, wanted me there that day to do my show because it was a Thursday game, if I remember correctly. And it started like 6 o'clock or something. We were doing a late afternoon evening show. So we did it from a dealership with the TVs on. I watched the entire thing. What was it, 14-7? It was a very close game.
Yep.
In Nashville. But no, I was not physically there. I was not far down the street, but I wasn't there.
Yeah, everyone I talked to, they say it was a great crowd there. Notre Dame brought a lot of fans. It was just a fun night on a Thursday there in Nashville. So, it's I think sort of that. And, they went back to South Bend to play the next game. And Vanderbilt obviously got pummeled. But, as you look at this matchup initially, what sort of catches your eye? Vanderbilt and Notre Dame, obviously two academically, privileged schools in the country. What kind of catches your eye as you at your first glance of this matchup?
Oh, boy. Well, a lot of things. What are we going to get about Brandon Wimbush? Which player do we get? Because he's a quarterback of extremes. He's usually really good or pretty bad. There's very rarely an average Brandon Wimbush, which can be an exhilarating high or a depressing low if you're watching and you follow the Irish. And Shermer's a better quarterback right now. Now again, different style, but he's a better quarterback. And I think that's a big key in this thing, too. I think Vanderbilt's a little more steady along the lines of scrimmage in this game than probably Notre Dame fans would give them credit for. Notre Dame fans probably don't know much about Vandy because they're always looking at Michigan or Stanford or Southern Cal or whoever it might be on their schedule. But this is a formidable opponent for Notre Dame, particularly if they're not right with the mindset. And, at that Michigan game, I was thinking for Notre Dame, all their games are winnable. Now, you don't necessarily win every winnable game, but that schedule, Southern Cal doesn't look as tough. Stanford will be tough. The ACC games, Florida State's not right at the moment. So it really looked more doable early on until Ball State. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I like what I'm seeing with Derek Mason. He's not getting a lot of positive publicity because of the stadium issue. And there's always that negative call. and he seems to be cutting through all that and doing a good job with them right now.
Speaking of Derek Mason, we obviously heard him talk about the atmosphere there at Notre Dame at SEC Media Days. He was simply just answering a question, but a lot of Notre Dame fans and even Vandy fans made a big deal out of it. And obviously, you think about Notre Dame's atmosphere, it's a decent college football atmosphere, but obviously not nearly as electric as some of the SEC stadiums Vanderbilt has played at. And, with that in consideration, how do you think the atmosphere there at Notre Dame Stadium on an afternoon and a Saturday in the fall compares to some of the SEC stadiums Vanderbilt does see week in and week out?
Well, it depends on what game it is. If it's Southern Cal and Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, and Lindale White are out there, it's exhilarating. I mean, it can be just like any other stadium, but on average, it's not. I think you just referred to that. It's probably not. It's kind of a, and I don't want to say geriatric crowd because they got all ages there, but it's kind of a be polite crowd at times. Like I said, I don't think they know much about Vandy other than it's another academic school. I'm sure the average Notre Dame fan doesn't respect Vandy and any other football history or lack thereof. It's probably going to be a lethargic crowd, I would think. And if they start playing poorly, Vanderbilt's playing well, it's going to be a nervous crowd.
So that's an interesting combination there, especially with a school like Notre Dame with all the tradition and history they have. If they don't respect Vanderbilt, Mason's going to come up there and jump on them early, and that's not what Ball State did. That Ball State kind of hung around, but if Mason can put a couple touchdowns up early, Notre Dame's going to be in panic mode, and Brian Kelly's going to have to force with a lot of big situations. And on the topic of Vanderbilt, what do you think Vanderbilt must do? Is if you had to pick one thing that they must do in order to upset the Irish, what would that be?
Probably somewhat be balanced with running the football. They don't have to be great at it, but you need to be balanced at it. Notre Dame's pretty deep. I mean, they're too deep on their defensive line. They don't have a Stephon Tuitt or an Aaron Lynch, but they have a lot of good players that are serviceable along that defensive line. And if they can get to the quarterback, then Vanderbilt won't have a chance to win. One way to solve that would be being able to run the football some. The other thing is, before this year, safety was a huge problem at Notre Dame. They solidified it some with the Gilliam kid, who was the transfer from Navy, so really good physical tackle running game. They're a little bit better back there, and they've got some numbers back there, too. So I think that's going to be an interesting matchup. And how do they take on Lipscomb, who is one of the better receivers they're going to see this year, I think.
I want to now turn the focus to Vanderbilt's defense and what they might have to worry about for Notre Dame's offense. As you mentioned, Wimbush is one of the more inconsistent quarterbacks in the country. You never know what he's gonna bring. Is he gonna bring the good Wimbush or the bad Wimbush? And Notre Dame, they got good running backs, a really good receiving core, obviously with Boykin and Claypool and Chris Fink. So if those receivers can make big plays and make plays for Wimbush, Vanderbilt's defense could be in trouble. In terms of that offense for the Irish against Vanderbilt's defense, what kind of matchups are you looking for there?
The receiving core's kind of been odd for Notre Dame. They've got all those big bodies. Obviously, you're not going to have a lot of quickness in that group, just size-wise. And Chris Fink's not one of those big bodies, but he's not an explosive athlete per se. They really don't have that 6'1", 190 guy that just kills you. A wide receiver. Fuller was the last one they had. That's an extreme example. A few years ago, you don't get one of those every year, obviously.
No.
So they kind of got those tight end bodies at wide receiver. So physically, it's a tough matchup, but just speed wise, they're doable. They're very doable. And I think for Notre Dame, they need to be able to run the football. Right now, they've got a bunch of no-name running backs with Dexter Williams being out. And people really don't know much about them. And they're all pretty good. None of them are great. None of them are bad. And that's going to be interesting because if Notre Dame can't run the football, I think their passing game, particularly with Wimbush, is susceptible to Vanderbilt. If Vanderbilt can stop the run, I think they can really confuse Notre Dame. I don't know if Notre Dame with Wimbush can be a pass-only team if they've got to have it, if you know what I mean. If it comes down to that, I don't think that's what they do well. They need to be able to do that within the context of a balanced play call sheet.
All right, Notre Dame is a 13.5-point favorite at home here against Vanderbilt. Give us your score prediction before we close things out here with you, Bill.
Boy, I'm going to say Notre Dame wins 28-17, but I would not bet you one penny on it.
Well, I mean, I like the prediction. A lot of people are picking it even closer than that. So, that's kind of, yeah, kind of an odd game here, but I can't wait to watch it. I know you're going to be watching all of it there at home. So a lot of Vandy fans making the trip up. Can't wait to watch it. Bill, enjoy your college football Saturday this weekend, all the NFL as well. Thank you for taking the time to join us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That was Bill King. He is the host of the Bill King Show on 560 WNSR in Nashville. His score prediction, there you heard it there first. He predicts Notre Dame to beat Vanderbilt 28-17. Always great to have a guest on a show. The first guest here on the Dore Report podcast is Bill King. Obviously, he's sort of a radio legend here in Nashville. There in Nashville, we're actually broadcasting live down here in Naples. And once again, we are talking about the Vanderbilt and Notre Dame game this week. It's a dream matchup for me. I actually still can't believe it's going to happen. We are 2 days away. The game will kick off at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time in South Bend at Notre Dame Stadium. On Twitter, from what I've read, there's a lot of Vanderbilt fans making the trip, so can't wait to see what kind of contention Vanderbilt fans have. Hopefully Notre Dame fans will be riled up for it as well after a very confusing game last weekend against Ball State. Hopefully Notre Dame's going to be ready, and hopefully we will see a great game. You can watch it on NBC. The 8+ crew is calling the game. You got Mike Tirico, Doug Flutie, and Catherine Tappan on the NBC broadcast, nationally televised game between Vanderbilt and Notre Dame. Can't wait to watch it. And diving into some of these matchups, I am really excited to see the combination of Kyle Shermer and Kalijah Lipscomb against one of the best defenses in the country. We're really going to be able to see exactly how good Shermer and Lipscomb are. I think Keyshawn Vaughn's going to have to step up as well. And we're going to have to see exactly how good Keyshawn Vaughn is. This is sort of his time to shine. And it's really sort of a step-up game for the Commodores. There's going to be a lot of guys on the field. They're going to have to step up. In the wide receiving core, Lipscomb is going to be often maybe double teamed. He's going to be locked down because of Notre Dame. They're probably going to have Julian Love on him, their best corner. Jalen Elliott has played well as well for Notre Dame. So it's one of the best defenses in the country Vanderbilt's going up against. It's going to be tough to move the ball offensively. I think Keyshawn Vaughn and that running game should be able to do just enough to keep the chains moving. But again, Shermer and Lipscomb and Chris Pierce and Cam Johnson and C.J. Bowler, Amir Abdur-Rahman, they're going to have to step up. They're going to have to make some clutch completions for Vanderbilt to keep the chains moving on offense. And then on defense for Vanderbilt, they're going to have to slow down Brandon Wimbush. He's a dual threat quarterback. He's an inconsistent player, as Bill King mentioned, but he's got a lot of talent. He's a fast player. He's an explosive player. Your goal, if you're Jason Tarver in this Vanderbilt defense, is to keep him in the pocket. When he's outside the pocket, it's not good. That's bad news for the Commodores defense, because he's going to get that first down when he's out of the pocket. So it's certainly going to be interesting to see what kind of pressure and what kind of schemes Jason Tarver calls for this Vanderbilt defense. He will be on the field there, not up in the booth. So I think that's some given energy there for the Commodore defense. So again, you got Brandon Wimbush versus Kyle Shermer, Brian Kelly versus Derek Mason, Vanderbilt and Notre Dame. My score prediction is Notre Dame 24, Vanderbilt 21. Notre Dame scores a late touchdown by running back Jafar Armstrong to seal the deal with 2 minutes left, and Shermer can't get the job done. I've got Notre Dame winning 24-21 by a field goal over Vanderbilt. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Vanderbilt's going to compete. I think this Vanderbilt team is good. I think they're a really good team. I think they have a chance to win 7-8 games this year. This is sort of a jumping, a stepping stone for the Commodores season. And if they don't have to win this game to be proven across the country and get that added perception, if they can battle with Notre Dame, Vanderbilt will have a good perception around the country, and I can't wait to see if they do. So once again, Vanderbilt at Notre Dame in South Bend at Notre Dame Stadium, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff on NBC. Mike Tirico, Doug Flutie on the call. Cannot wait to watch it. For Bill King, I'm Billy Derrick, and you've been listening to the Dore Report, presented by Alaco Hardwood Flooring.